I'm glad you asked that, because I wanted to take this time to explain my evil plan. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. Folks, I have to say I've been sick for a while, so excuse me if my content has been a little bit light lately. Being sick, I couldn't hardly move. Couldn't sit straight to make a video, that's for sure. So still on the other end of that, so if your sniffles or my voice is, well, who knows, maybe preferable to what it normally is, please forgive. But we got a lot to do tonight, and I don't have a whole lot of time to do it. So I have 30 minutes to do both an offense and defense video for 5v5. So we're gonna go kind of quick, but I think we can get most of it done if I'm being honest. So. That being said, just want to remind you guys before we get into it, just if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that thumbs up button or leave a comment in the comment area if you want to. If you want to support me further and you haven't done it yet, please just hit that sub button. What are you waiting for? Get on the train. No, I must be sick saying things like that. I must have no filter. Madness. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Whoa, we're in the game. Get over it, dude. All right, here we are. We've got. Here's my explanation, guys. We're typically not going to do Galactic Legends on these videos, and we're not going to this time. I just want to give you guys context for my defenses. I'm going to show you what defenses I used last season. I went 10-2 last season, and after I finally kind of figured everything out and everything, like it was a kind of rough start, but there was a few things that I'll talk to you about here on how I'm doing defenses. I do want to just point out that I put Lord Vader and Rey both on defense the whole time, and oh, look at that, surprise Kenobi, and I put their like kind of platonic ideal teams with them for the whole time. And whereas that can be kind of rough a little bit to do without these characters, I do think that having this best of kind of group is going to it's going to dissuade people from trying to use off meta counters for the most part. And I did want to just point that out, is if you want to make teams that are good on defense, a lot of times if you cut corners, that's what opens the door for off meta. That's what opens the door for people to do that. And so people want to complain about the Shock T with Troopers counter. Well, it's like, okay, here's a way to stop it. Use Maul and another fast character. And Shock T and Troopers are no longer an option to counter your Lord Vader. The Jedi Master Kenobi team, I mean, maybe there are some counters to this that are more off meta, but you're going to close the door almost entirely if you put Cat in with him. Same with Rey. Putting Jedi Training Rey and R2-D2 and putting Offense Rey in is going to really, really slow them down. So that's what I've been doing, and I don't know, you can too if you want. Just wanted to throw that out there. Now, on to the next pile of teams here, folks. So this is defense, and Darth Revan with this whole group is pretty good. Darth Revan on defense is nothing new, but there's the new ways people are tackling it are different. Now, if people want to use Troopers to counter you, that's fine. That's great. It can be difficult if you don't have a fast enough Troopers team, and that's why you have Darth Talon in there, to add an extra 20 speed to the team. In addition, though, even if they are faster, if they don't have a strong enough even if they don't have a strong enough Piat, hold on. There we go. Even if they don't have a really strong Dark Trooper, then even if they're fast enough, then if you go like I do and put a ton of health on Sith Marauder, this doesn't look like a huge amount, but then keep in mind, so he's got a lot of extra health, but then Darth Talon additionally gives another 30% extra health on top of all of that, and yeah, an extra 30% max health. Your Sith Marauder is going to be doing some serious damage to the Troopers team, and potentially just one-shotting different characters, and it's going to at least cost banners, and it might just stop them entirely if he hits the right character at the right time. So keep that in mind. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to kill a high-health Sith Marauder with Troopers. Even with a high-powered Dark Trooper, it is a very difficult thing. So Darth Talon goes really well with Sith Marauder on defense. Just something to keep in mind. So General Skywalker, I do like him on offense as well. I don't know exactly where to put him, just because he can be one-shot by CLS, but CLS can one-shot, like, all the things. Tons of things CLS can one-shot. And so, General Skywalker, it's like, well, okay. So sure, CLS can delete it. That's fine. How many other things are they relying on CLS to vanquish? So if you're going to put him on defense, put other teams that require CLS or better, and pretty soon your opponent's team is going to kind of crack under the pressure of trying to find enough teams to conquer you. So that's my advice. It's a good team, but don't just think of it as a cure-all, as a panacea. It's not going to be. It's going to be a team that wins sometimes and saves you because you've had other teams draw CLS away from it, or something like that. Alright, so Commander Luke, good on defense. I don't know, this is probably the last time he goes on this list. He is good on defense, but he loses to General Grievous. Even if you have them all modded for tenacity and stuff, a lot of times they lose on defense. One thing I should point out about General Skywalker as well, folks, just as a reminder, Echo, and this is going to be my next Faction Essentials video, actually, is the 501st, is Echo wants a lot of potency, actually, just to stun this Commander Luke team. If you can stun Chupio or 3PO, then it's going to make it a lot more difficult for them to actually accomplish anything, and Echo is in a unique position to be able to stun either one because they're both droids, and that's something that you need to remember with CLS. You need a lot of tenacity on these guys, on 3PO and on Chewie especially, but 3PO could also use a little bit as well if you can find some. If you can find it in your heart to get him some, Commander Luke gives it to the whole team as long as Chupio's there. So this whole team is pretty dang good on defense, but I like it more on offense because you can pick and choose who your target's going to be. Now, if you aren't running Jedi Training Rey with Rey, which I do recommend doing, actually, guys, even if it hurts your overall number of teams, but if you're not doing it, that's fine. This is the team for you. And this is the team that you don't need a fast hero Finn for. You can have him pretty slow, actually, because even in this loadout, even if he's overtly the first fastest character, even if he has 340 speed, he is still the slowest on this team because BB-8 gains so much bonus turn meter, and so does R2-D2, and then so does Jedi Training Rey, that they'll all go. And in fact, Finn might not be the 4th to go, he might be like the 6th to go, because BB-8 and Jedi Training Rey might take a second turn in between, right after or before Finn goes. So really good team on defense. I don't want to take away from it. I do think that people are hurting themselves if they're not stacking their Galactic Legend teams. Like, I don't know. I would love to hear it in the comments, actually, guys. What's been your experience in stacking your Galactic Legend teams? Like, is it better or worse than just putting really weak characters in there? I've had great results from stacking them so far because people run out of counters so quickly. They think that they have enough counters until they realize I have 3 Galactic Legends on defense and all 3 require at least a Galactic Legend power or better. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so there's 2 versions of Traya here, guys. Number 1, there's the classic Traya team where Traya is the lead, and then you can have Darth Talon in there. That's fine. If you don't need Darth Talon with Darth Revan, that's totally fine. This works. This is totally doable. And Omicron or not with Darth Talon, it's going to be good. I am so excited to get an Omicron onto Darth Talon eventually, but there's a lot of other characters first. Like we've got to do it for for the new Boba Fett. DBB is what people are calling it. Dad Bod Boba. So he needs 1 or 2 at least. Starkiller is going to need at least 2, and I only have 2 to give right now. Apparently, I'm not accumulating them as quickly as I thought I would. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But Talon, I would love to have hers. Not a priority though. This is the platonic ideal of this team, in my opinion. Like once you get the Omicron on Talon, just go to work. Like it's pretty nice. Otherwise, though, this other team trips people up a lot because they think they can underdo it. Like it makes the whole team way faster because Darth Maul gives them extra turn meter, and it's not unbeatable. But unless you have a really good team gunning for you, these guys are going to gain a lot of turn meter because they're going to dodge a lot. Sith Empire Trooper is going to hang out and just be annoying because you don't hit him nearly as often, and so it makes him more tanky. And then you got Daze from Darth Maul. It's a pretty annoying team. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's a fine alternative, especially if Darth Talon isn't available to bolster your team. Alright, Beskar, this is one that I actually put on both, but defense, I've been putting him on defense lately, and people one-shot him a lot. That's the truth, but they also fail to one-shot him enough times that I realized that this team is really good. The key to it, of course, you need to have a fast Queel. I don't know how many times I fought a Beskar team with a slow Queel, and I was like, this is so ridiculous. Like, I just walk up and shoot Beskar in the head. Like, it's not hard. If you can just take Beskar out before the rest of the team goes, then it's not hard. Like, bounty hunters eat this team so easily. But if you have a really fast Queel, you can call that into question. Now, Zam, of course, makes it kind of trivial to outspeed you, but at the same time, I mean, not everyone has the Omicron on Zam yet, and not everyone wants to use that. I mean, pretty soon people are going to be relying on that Zam Omicron to take out the really fast Darth Revan teams, and so this is definitely worth putting on defense. The other, I really like having Veteran Han in here because he gives an AoE of ability block that is so strong. And then, of course, Nest can daze everyone. Everyone's got AoEs. This is a really strong team. If you can get Veteran Han up, I could put him at Relic 6, he can do some serious work. You put Stagger on people, it is disgusting, actually. Veteran Han only wants one thing, and it is disgusting. Alright, I just took a break to get a drink. Hopefully, my voice has improved in the short term. I don't know. Alright, so if I had to say one team that got me the most holds this GAC season, it's probably this Emperor Palpatine team with even a low star Mara Jade. You can see I've been light wailing on Mara Jade. That's fine. Soft wailing, whatever you want to call it. But she was only 4 stars going into this season, and she performed admirably. This team got me a ton of holds because if you let that turn meter train get going, Mara Jade will not relent, and she is so fast. You can make her really fast even at gear 11. Let's see how fast I've made her. I don't think I've made her super fast, but yeah, like 285. That's not too bad. You know, especially because we're limited to non-6E items. I did put the Chirotech on here to make her a little faster, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's worth it though, right? Like extra speed on a character who relies on speed. But once she hits that limit, guys, that barrier, when she hits that 7 stars and can get 6E mods on, she's going to be super fast. This team's going to be great. The only question is, should we put Palpatine and Mara with Starkiller? I am not convinced one way or another, but that's the biggest question to me moving forward. Like, where do they go? Maybe with Starkiller? I kind of hope not. I've been really enjoying the heck out of this team on defense just because it delivers to me what I always wanted, which are holds. So, anyways, that's the team. Guys, this team is so good. Make Mara fast. You can make Vader faster. He's actually the fastest on the team. And, I mean, I have a pretty good set on him. He has a good set. But, yeah, 286 speed. And then, remember, he's gaining plus 8 for every character that's Empire, plus 8 for every character that's Sith. And remember, that doubles for him and Palp, so it's plus 32 for them, and then another plus, 24, so it's like plus 56 from his own team. And then if a team with Rebels or Jedi attack, then he gets even more speed. So he can get pretty quick. He gets moving pretty quickly. And if they give him even a chance to jump in, like think about if like Mon Mothma could get in on it, you could maybe outspeed with Kyle Katarn. But the second you give him even like an inch of wiggle room, Vader and Palpatine and Mara Jade are all over it and probably just annihilate that squad. So, another one that I like on defense that people are telling me is bad, which I guess I could understand, is Dash Rendar. I don't know. This team also got me a lot of holds this season, and I think that he will eventually transition into an offensive, mainly offensive team. Remember, this is an Omicron Dash Rendar team. Without the Omicron, I do think it's still decent on defense, but just keep in mind, like teams like Traya can just trash this team fairly easily because there's so many assists, there's so many different weird things that happen. Like what happens a lot of times is the whole team will kill Nihilus right away. Like they just they prioritize Nihilus, and then for whatever reason they just run out of steam and die. I'd be interested to see what Traya can do to an Omicron Dash Rendar team. I haven't seen that yet, but I do know that it's not invincible. It does steal a ton of banners, though, on defense, and it steals a lot of, I mean, it does a lot of work on offense. So, you know, well, either way is pretty good. It's going to be a really high banner team on offense. It just doesn't have as high of a range on offensive capabilities. People are going to feel the pain if they attack this squad, or they'll easily beat it, but they'll use a way tougher team than necessary. Alright, apparently I have another apparently I really wanted to emphasize the Beskar is a good team. And Palpatine, what's going on? I'm going crazy. And Dash, what? Taking crazy pills. I must be sick. Okay, so we've got Maul here with these guys. The Mandalorians is what they're called, folks. I don't know. On defense, they're good. My only problem with putting them on defense, guys, you need someone who is really fast on the team on defense, and that usually is Armorer. But if you put Armorer on defense, then how the hell are you going to counter other Galactic Legends? Yeah, you can see I took one of her triangles off recently for territory battles, I believe, or something. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was trying to make Finn faster for some reason. Anyways, so armor is, you know, like 340 speed, something like that. So what happens is Maul, you need to make sure that Maul can use his frenzy. So make him kind of fast. So what happens is armor goes first. He calls everyone to assist, or she calls everyone to assist. It calls Maul with his frenzy. He'll do his AoE, and then Canderous by then will have assisted so many times that he'll take a turn. He'll do his special, and then Maul will use his frenzy again to take a turn, and then he'll delete the rest of the team. So that's kind of what the idea is. Jango isn't necessary for bounty hunters anymore, unfortunately, but he is great with a Mando team. I personally like Maul with Vader, and then you can have a Bo-Katan team. It's a lesser team, but I do like that on offense instead. That way I have armor flexibility if necessary. Okay, one thing I did want to point out, guys, in the final aspect of this video is Finn and the crew, that neither of them are great, but keep in mind, one thing I think the reason I've succeeded so much in GAC lately is I've been putting fluff teams down, a couple teams that aren't that tough to kill, because it opens the door for me to take really good teams on offense. And that's another key. You need to be able to have a flexible offense in order to beat your opponent. And sometimes that means stacking some of the good teams that you have, putting, doubling up on like Rey, for instance, putting Jedi Training Rey and Rey, or putting Maul with Lord Vader, etc., and then putting some worse teams, because people don't worry about taking out worse teams or lesser teams, but they do worry about stumbling and falling against your Galactic Legends. So far that's worked so far. I don't know if I'm going to do that next season. Who knows? That's what I did last season, and it seemed to work really well once I finally got with the program. So put some fluff teams down if you need to. And honestly, I'm at 8.8 million. I still need to, so maybe you do too. All right, guys, I'm going to call it good. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth is sometimes sick, but he still prevails. Goodbye.